Well, Dave, lunch is over. It's time to make movie magic.
I need a nap.
I'll give you one. Let's talk about your 2014 Jeep Sahara that you've had for what, 3 or 4 years now.
Yes.
You bought it in stock condition and you were looking for a Rubicon. Maybe you can tell me the story about how this happened.
Well, I was looking for a Rubicon, and Dan Patterson down at Southern Oregon Tire, he talked me into buying a Sahara because they're much more well equipped, power windows and mirrors and all that stuff.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So you got a real nice package, and then Dan said he could build a Rubicon or better Jeep?
Yeah, because he said I would be changing everything in the Rubicon anyway, so
Okay.
that's why I bought the Sahara.
So when you took it in there, stock, what was the first thing Dan did, or what was the package that Dan worked with?
Well, we started out with the front and rear end. We trussed the front and rear end,
Stock axles.
stock axles,
Mm-hmm.
and we put alloy axles in it,
Front and rear.
front and rear, with ARB air lockers front and rear,
Mm-hmm.
456 gears because of the 35-inch tires. Got to change gearing a bit.
Okay.
Let's see, we did heavy-duty tie rods in the front. We put, has anti-rock off-road sway bars on it.
Okay.
The lift is a 3.5-inch lift from King Off-Road Racing. Shocks also.
So the Bilsteins, they're captive ball. I forget what the expression is. They're not rubber bushings.
No, and they're not Bilsteins either. They're the King shocks.
Well, I thought they were Bilsteins.
No, they're high-end shocks.
So with reservoirs and so
There's
forth.
reservoirs.
Okay. So the bumpers are kind
Yeah,
of unique.
when we came to the bumpers, I had a pretty good budget when I was doing this Jeep, and Dan talked me into aluminum bumpers that save a few $100 off the total weight of the Jeep,
Front and rear?
front and rear.
Did you paint these or have them powder coated?
They came powder coated.
They're really nice looking. You haven't beat them up.
No, I never really used it that much after I built the Jeep. All the guys down at the tire shop sold all their Jeeps
They sold all their Jeeps
and bought side-by-sides.
side by side. Hey, that's an interesting conversation. We'll get to that in a moment. So let's stick to the underside of the Jeep. So did you buy any armor plating for it?
The whole underneath side has Genrite armor,
Okay.
has Genrite rock sliders,
So it's got gas tank, transmission, transfer case, engine.
front end, everything.
Okay. I noticed the differentials have pretty stout looking covers on them.
Yeah, it has alloy diff covers on it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Pretty nice. The ARB's lockers, they need a compressor, don't they?
Yeah, it has a twin cylinder ARB compressor underneath the hood that you can control the that stuff with. You can also air up your tires if you air them down.
Wow, it'll air up 4 tires.
Oh yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
The winch is a Warren. Is that a 8 or a 10,000 pound?
It's a looks like a 8,000 pound Warren winch.
Okay.
And it has outside control, and then it has an inside control also.
So you can operate it from the dash.
You can operate it from the dash.
As far as the rims, what type of rims are those?
Those are Raceline bead locks.
Okay.
It has
Are they real bead locks?
real bead locks.
Okay.
Has BF Goodrich KM3s on it.
Okay. Spare tire looks like it's never been near the ground.
Never been near the ground.
And it looks like you have some stadium lighting up above the dash.
Yeah, it has a 50-inch rigid light bar on it.
Does it work pretty good?
Oh, it lights up the world.
Does it?
It's quite strong.
Does it? Okay.
The front lights are, what are they? They're Vision X front lights here.
Okay.
The bumper.
I noticed that you went for the aftermarket hood latches, but that doesn't look like a stock hood.
No, it's got an aftermarket vented hood
Okay.
and with some billet hood latches.
Nice.
On the inside, it's got some real high dollar seat covers on the front seats.
Really? You got grab bars and all that stuff in there?
Yeah, grab bars.
Okay. And the only thing I really noticed, Dave, is it has a radio that's almost bigger than the windshield.
It has an Alpine stereo unit that is, the surround is made for the Jeep, so it looks like a factory type setup.
Wow.
Also has a GPS in it with all your off-road stuff on it.
You got 2 cameras, you said.
Has cameras front and back. One down here, another one down near the in the spare tire.
You made mention that you thought you had $7,000 in that radio.
Yes, like I said, I had a large budget when I put this thing together, so I just went for it.
All right. I
But
think
boy, it sure does sound good.
well, speaking of which, the exhaust system, stock header, stock cap.
Yep, I took the stock muffler out of the back that always gets tore up and put a smaller one back there, and then it has another muffler in front of that to make it nice and quiet. It was too noisy when I put that first muffler on it, so we added another.
You know, you and I have talked about doing the Rubicon and Moab, and it just never happened, Dave. I know you've done some local trails here, and you and I have done Gasky and so forth. And
Yep.
we've been up on this and that. But the Jeep just never really got used.
No, it didn't get used like my old one did. It got used pretty good.
So Dave, now we can come back to the side-by-side. So they all bought side-by-sides, and they're pouring lots of money in them.
Yes.
And so Dave, I guess that kind of leads us to why the Jeep's being sold.
Yep, because I have the side-by-side that I'm pouring money into now.
Would you say, just as a matter of opinion, that you've spent more on the Jeep or the side-by-side so far?
Oh, they're probably about comparable.
About 20 grand. 20.
Yeah, about 20 grand in the upgrades.
It's amazing how much fun we can have.
Yes, it is amazing.
I know that Dan did a clutch on it about a year ago.
Yeah, it's been a couple years
A
ago.
couple years ago. I haven't been keeping. You haven't been driving this very much. I mean,
No, I kind of quit driving it. I have a little '02 Honda that I drive around every day.
oh, the Honda Accord.
And
Yeah.
I'm retired, and I'm getting much more cheap, I guess.
Cheap.
Cheap.
I haven't noticed.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think unless there's something that you can think of that we missed, we're good. It has a Terraflex emblem on it. What's the Terraflex
Oh, the
thing?
Terraflex is the spare tire mount, and it's heavy-duty hinges, and it makes it to where you can open the rear door just with the stock rear door handle.
So
You don't have to do 2 latches to.
Oh, because that's a pain in the backside.
It is a pain.
All right. Under the hood, you have cold air intake.
Yeah, cold air intake.
You
other-
said something about a dog adapter.
No, it's got a Bully Dog tuner in it.
Bully Dog
where
tuner.
you can, put different tunes on it.
Like radio?
No, motor.
Oh, motor tunes.
Motor tunes.
So you can adjust it. That was one thing I noticed when I drove it, that the air pressure warning icon was on the dash, and you told me that was there because?
The Alpine unit has a whole bunch of tire pressure sensors and different kind of sensors that all go onto that stereo.
Yeah.
And when we did that, we could never get that tire pressure light to turn off, so it just stays on all the time.
Did you check with the installer or? just Dan?
Just Dan.
Okay, so, okay. But that's the only thing I noticed about it is that light, so. All right, Dave, well, I very much appreciate your time. It's going to be sad that we never got to do anything fun with the Jeeps, but...
Yeah, well, you'll
Easy.
just have to get a side-by-side, Ted.
All right, Davers, you be good. Thank you again.
Okay.